what's going on at the end of the day? Welcome to the podcast. Hiding in Plain Sight, Volume 2. This time we're going to look at Jigga Man, Jay-Z. A lot of y'all's idol. Is he a member of the Illuminati? I mean, he sure talks about it a lot. His first album. You know what I'm saying? Got a video. Gonna definitely get into it.
You might know the year 1776. It's kind of an important year. It's the year when the United States gained its independence from Great Britain, but it's also known for something else. The year a secret society known as the Illuminati was founded by a Bavarian law professor. Coincidence?
We gotta do that again.
Coincidence? Since then, rumors, speculation, and full-fledged conspiracy theories about the Illuminati have been a consistent part of American life. But more recently, Illuminati talk has resurfaced as a pop culture phenomenon, with many people searching.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's a phenomenon, but let's use this guy's words. A lot of people bring it up in their raps. I don't listen to it as much as I used to, so I don't know every time it was brought up. But a few instances that I could reference myself, I didn't know what it was at the time of listening, back when I heard it for the first time. After years in different situations coming across the knowledge, I was aware of it. Now, because I'm aware of it, I can definitely understand it now, compared to back then when I just heard it and just heard the word. Now just knowing that at one time or another, it was a plan or is a plan for some people to try to take over. And if that's what's going on right now, I definitely think we need to know who's a part of it, who represents it. That way we can tune out and, depending on who you are, make you aware of it, just so you know what to do, just so you don't idolize these people. Let's continue.
For Illuminati symbols in the work of the entertainment industry's elite artists, people like Jay-Z, Lady Gaga. So what's the reason for all this Illuminati talk? You've commented a lot on Jay-Z and how he uses particular types of symbols. You've talked on NPR, you talked about his keen grasp of esoterica.
Yes.
What's going on here?
Jay-Z has an understanding of the magnetic power of some of these symbols, the pentagram, the eye in the pyramid, the obelisk, and he uses them as an artist, but people spin out all kinds of conspiracy theories from there.
Help me understand that.
Who is this guy, man? You know what I'm saying? Who is this dude? And if people don't do the conspiracy theories as they're called, then how else will you even think that that person's into that type of stuff? Just don't understand that. It's just like a quick way to pass over it. If you label it, that's a conspiracy theory, then a lot of people will just overlook it because it's almost coming off as that's just something somebody's making up. A conspiracy theory, hypothesis, which is an educated guess, I would label those one and the same, especially if you can back up your guess or your opinion. That's where I think the difference is. Just like a lot of these quotes in these songs, that's what you got to go from. I mean, the artists themselves, unless they're trying to get taken out of their position, I don't think they're gonna just come out and tell you that they're dealing with the Illuminati or anything like that.
You talked about the eye, you talked about the obelisk. All of these things are symbols, icons,
yes,
not just of American pop culture now, but historically they've been Egyptological symbols.
That's
the obelisk
right.
needle, for example. All of these things are quite interesting. What's the connection?
These things all have deep historical roots, but they were popularized in the modern world by Freemasonry. The Illuminati as an organization existed kind of at the fringe margins of Freemasonry, and they were very attached to these symbols because
each of those videos, even that one right there that's being highlighted, Run This Town, if you look into them, people have done a breakdown of those videos showing you satanic symbolism as well as the Illuminati references, cult symbolism, including the Do What Thou Wilt is on his shirt right there, on his hoodie. I referenced that in a previous video. It's not just the saying for this guy. Pretty sure it's what he believes. And, followers of him will just look into it and may even adapt the same phrase just because he did. And I believe, you would definitely be making a grave error just look into it if you haven't already. Let's get back to the video.
They believed they communicated something about a universal search for meaning. There were many of the founding fathers, including Washington, Thomas Jefferson, John Hancock, who also found these symbols appealing, and they imbued our currency and the design of our capital with some of these symbols. There was a great idealism behind them, not a conspiracy.
So when I'm looking on the back of a dollar bill and I see the Eye of Horus,
Yeah.
I shouldn't assume necessarily that the founding fathers were involved in some deep conspiracy. They may just have found it interesting.
Exactly.
Seeing all-seeing eye.
Exactly. They commissioned that symbol as part of the National Seal on July 4th, 1776. And
Look up some of this stuff on your own. You're gonna definitely see something totally different than what he just said. You're gonna see the words that can be translated as order out of chaos. You're gonna see 13 arrows, 13 feathers, 13, there's a little hidden owl on there. There's a lot of symbolism on that bill. And I'm pretty sure he's not gonna go over all of it in this video, which is why him just speaking on a couple of things kind of feels like you're kind of being thrown off the trail, if you just take what he says for face value. You have to look into it.
it was an attempt to associate the New Republic with the other great civilizations of the past, including ancient Egypt.
Here are some lyrics from his recent collaborations. One he did with Rick Ross on the song Freemason, as you just pointed out. Jay-Z sort of rebuffed the idea that he was a member of these secret organizations.
One of the quotes that was on screen, he said he said he wasn't a Mason, and from what I know about it, they are a secret organization. So I don't expect him to admit he's a part of it if he was, or if he is.
I said I was amazing, not that I'm a Mason. And then on more recent song, Devil's a Lie, on Rick Ross's new album, Mastermind, he says, am I down with the devil because my roof come up missing? Is that Lucifer juice in that 2-cup he's sipping? That's Duce, baby.
It's quotes like this that you gotta...
Welcome to the dark side, sort of speaking to this.
You gotta take them as they're put out there. Once again, certain aspects of things, he may be speaking on it because he knows it's popular. People think that he's in it anyway, so he might as well capitalize on it. Or he just may be telling you the truth in plain sight. Volume 2.
Idea, ironically, to some extent, that his success is being linked to membership in some secret organization as opposed to what everyone else is successful for. Hard work and luck and sweat and all those other things. Rahel, what does it mean for someone like Jay-Z to engage and address those who believe he's part of the Illuminati?
Well, I think that's a good starting point. I think where your question gets at is, why would Jay-Z do it? And then the other side of that question would be, why do people assume that he's in the Illuminati even when he may not be wearing that identifier?
Why would he be in it? And why would people assume he's in it? I don't know if that's a comparison. Maybe it's if he's in it or if he's not in it. Because at the end of the day, that's where all the speculation comes from. It's the whole point of whether or not he's a member. So the fact that he's given clues, he's left breadcrumbs for people to believe that he's in it. That's why people believe that he's in it.
I think a possible response to the question of why he would do it is, I think in hip hop and cultural production in general, you have this obsession and focus on good and evil. I mean, so there are a lot of conversations about morality taking place in hip hop lyrics. So he's writing about these songs inherently in songs that touch on evil. And he references it again when he talked in the song Heaven, when he says that, the Illuminati is a way in which people try to explain his success. So I think we do have to account for the fact that he's engaging in ethical conversations and moral conversations. He's using references of good and evil, which is what most artists, whether it's in drawing, whether it's in lyricism or in anything, that there is this kind of question of what does it mean to be human and wrestle with the good and evil. But I think what he does is he...
What does it mean to be human and wrestle with good and evil? I mean, I guess at the end of the day, that's the question everybody have to ask, or whether or not they've already asked it. She don't believe that he's into it. Maybe that's her favorite rapper. And that's what I mean by idolizing. Maybe it's something that you can't really see unless you step out of the whole frame and then look back at it and say, wait a minute, maybe it could be, and then look at it that way. Other than that, I mean, I really don't expect anybody to respond differently other than, you know, just like this lady right here. Probably respond just like her. Heard all the CDs, streamed all of his music these days or whatever, and, you know, he could never be like that. It's kind of hard to imagine he's a part of something. And, you know, the only thing he would do is just add to the speculation by putting it in his music. Yeah, kind of don't make sense to me. I mean, they can make it make sense. It just doesn't have to make sense.